to a woman. Though fathoms deep you sink me in the mold, locked in with thick-lapped lead and bolted wood, yet rest not easy in your lover's arms, let him beware to stand where I have stood. I shall not fail to burst my ebon case, and thrust aside the clods with fingers red. Your blood shall turn to ice to see my face. Look from the shadows on your midnight bed. To face the dead he too shall wake in vain, my fingers at his throat, your scream his knell. He will not see me tear you from your bed, and drag you by your golden hair to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen. I should do that in a scary way. I don't know how to do scare.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Just do Crypt Keeper.
I can't.
He's in a house with his family. He can't cackle loudly.
I can't do that if I wanted to anyway. Like, I can't do his Dr. Insano, so I can't do Crypt Keeper
So
because
we
they're
have
about to
Cameron
say.
just do his stuff.
I'm just gonna, like, put his laugh in this intro. Alright, everybody stop. This is it. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Chick Flick Shuffle. And today, we look at two terrifying monsters going at it. Pedophiles and psychopaths. And our review of Hard Candy. Doesn't that sound like a children's... No, it does not sound like a children's film.
Sounds like a psychological thriller or like, I don't know, something about...
It is? Kind of?
Like a child murderer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some of that in there.
Sounds like a Chucky feel in the name.
Child's Play.
You know what?
Yeah, Child's
Like an
Play.
old lady asks you for some hard candy and this is what you give her.
Oh, that is... I would beat that.
Dating.
I would beat that kid if I was that old lady. For more than one reason.
Max Fisticuffs isn't here with us because who knows what Max Fisticuffs is doing? He's probably at an AA meeting.
Well, remember, tonight's GT South cosplay night. Plus, they have some Mario Kart tournaments, so he's probably there.
So
He's probably out there getting drunk with Ziggy
and girls in cosplay.
and girls.
Oh, you know, Ziggy doesn't drink much. He's very big on that cocaine.
Wow.
It's
So-
the fancy man's drug.
So he's the DD.
He's the DD, but he also drinks fancy. He likes that Mace Windu. He likes that Mace Windu.
No, see what Ziggy's doing right now is he's doing the girl right, and then everyone else is like bum bum bum.
Wait, what do you mean, bum, bum, bum?
You know, he gets to, cause it's his last day, you know, of freedom, so he's gonna do the girl, and everyone else lined up behind him and bum bum bum.
I wish you could have rehearsed that. Oh, bum, bum, bum. What do you mean, bum, bum?
But we do have Gio here.
Hello, everybody. I've got nothing.
You know, just stop saying I got nothing.
But that's my catch.
Cause that's your catchphrase now. You realize that?
Well, at least it's not I don't know.
Or I am deaf.
That's your catchphrase, straight. Back in the days when you were the Grim Reaper. You didn't do a good job.
So I got fired.
You
So
ended
all of you guys.
you ended up trapping a lion's balls and then went crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened. I saw that. I saw that on YouTube.
They got
Yeah.
removed though, so
We have Stray with us.
Did we get removed?
no.
Oh.
Stray, you were introduced.
I don't know.
You are.
No, Stray, that's my catchphrase. You can't use that.
Damn.
I will sue you like the guy that owns Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Fuck.
Let's get dangerous. Wait.
I'm pretty sure
No.
Disney owns that. You don't want them on your ass.
You don't mess with the mouse.
Yes.
Especially because you're from Canada too. They hate you more probably.
And then, of
It's
course,
cold
you
out
have
here.
Din. What?
What?
And, well, I already introduced what movie we're reviewing. So let's jump into it. Hard Candy is the story of a young man. Well, maybe
He's 30.
early 30s.
He's 32. He's not a young man.
Who meets up with a charismatic young lady over the internet. Decides, hey, let's meet in real life.
You say charismatic girl. I say little girl who has daddy issues.
Well, I don't know what issue she
Yeah,
got.
I don't know.
Internet.
But if I could have seen what led up to this meeting,
Yes.
then we could have a better understanding what she was supposed to be.
Can do to be, at least. I don't know what kind of issue she has.
I don't know where they meet, because it's like a coffee shop, I guess?
Yeah,
It's like a random coffee shop because she wanted coffee at something about chocolate hearts and I don't freaking know.
You have a deep, thrusting, powerful, long-lasting need for chocolate.
I do too.
Good to know, Stray. Good to know.
I actually meant the food,
Yeah,
not something else.
since we were talking. What do you mean? We were
That's what
talking.
we're talking about.
God, it's strange.
Sorry, I'm filling for McFisty counts right now.
You're not doing a good job.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to be more of a pervert, but you can't do that in this movie, because that would make you a pedophile. So,
Well, what it? I mean, she's 18 when this was made, so.
We don't know her actual age, apparently.
No. She.
just talking about the actor.
Yeah, the actress.
The actress.
The actress is,
No, yeah, I know that, but yeah,
The character, right?
It was a perfect cast
Yeah.
because she had 13-year-old boobs.
Yep.
Now I get to be McFisticuffs.
You get the McFisticuffs for DSC. You feel proud of
Anyway.
yourself?
No.
This is not a good time to be McFisticuffs.
We're all passing it around. So your turn next.
Yep.
We have to spread it around. Yeah.
So, they meet, and I guess the first few seconds of the movie, when it really starts, is pretty vital, because it kind of tells you, that this is a sexual meeting of a kind. They're teasing each other over the internet,
Chris
talking
Hansen did
about
not show up this time.
naked and stuff, so.
This is what happens when Chris Hansen can't be there. He sends this girl.
Pretty much.
Ellen Page.
He said, yeah. And her character's name is Haley Stark. She is not drunk enough to be Tony Stark, related to him at least, so, yeah.
This is Tony Stark's and Typhoid Mary's daughter.
Not Pepper.
No.
A lot of fans are going to be on our ass for that one.
I don't think they will.
I don't think so. What happens is, man, she really likes this one band. And he has concert music from that band.
Oh my god, he downloaded music from the internet. It's like no one else has ever done that before.
You should know, Gio.
I'm trying to play it cool. Try to play it smooth, I'll send you this MP3 file when I get back home. Like he don't want her to go home with him.
Oh my god. I just realized I was 14 when this movie came out.
Just the right age.
Wait, on Sundance. It came out in limited theaters.
That doesn't count.
Then a year later.
Nothing at film festivals counts.
Then a year later, it came out in limited theaters, so I was 15 by then.
Yeah, you were by guy
Actually,
standards.
no, wait, no. It's April. I was still 14.
And I was, oh my god, I was 11.
You were probably extremely rapeable. That's your age.
He is Asian. I mean, they don't age until a certain point. But then it took a
So yeah,
quick
they're not the
rapid change.
But she's like, well, 4 out of 5 doctors agree that I'm actually insane. So
Yeah, it should have been a big hint right there.
yeah, there's so much foreshadowing at the very beginning of this movie that if you didn't know what this movie was about, you would. Because it's like, oh look, foreshadowing. And then of course at the very beginning, you work as a photographer? Foreshadowing. And he's like, well, as a photographer, I can find out what faces lie. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, you can't find out what races are.
That's bullshit.
He's like, oh. And I know you guys don't watch this, but the girl in Once Upon a Time, the main character, she used to have a stick that she could tell when characters lie. And she sucked at it so much. She could never... What? She was like the worst police officer ever. Well, not police officer, just like she was like a detective or whatever, private investigator.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I have the power to tell when you're lying. And then he tells the truth. You're lying.
What?
Yeah.
We don't care.
They end up at the guy's house, and everything seems all nice, and everything seems to be going as planned.
Here, let me get you some orange juice with alcohol in it.
No, some screwdriver.
That's what I said.
Some sonic screwdriver.
How is it Sonic? Does he get the...
He adds green food coloring.
That's the plot twist. The girl is actually a Dalek.
Wait, did we just spoil the first episode of the new Doctor Who season right here?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, well, there we go.
He gives her water, right? And then she goes in to get the screwdriver.
Yeah, she makes the screwdriver herself.
Dude, don't trust anything you don't mix yourself.
Oh,
Okay.
And then later, that was good advice for everyone. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun.
So he wakes up all tied down, and that's when she begins her.
No.
No, go ahead, sir.
Didn't she do her little thing where she was basically strip teasing him?
I'm trying to get past the story part.
Oh, good.
There isn't a lot of story here. We're just trying to get through the premise.
Yeah, so pretty much she drugs him and knocks him out. Moving on.
Yep. And then castrates him?
That's going
not quite yet, but
far.
I forget where the castration takes place.
It goes without saying that this guy, he is indeed a pedophile.
Yes.
And this whole movie is kind of these two people going at it, him trying to get out of the situation, her trying to
kill him.
I don't know what she's trying to do other than ruin his life. Because at first it's like she's trying to find evidence, but it's not like she needs evidence or anything.
Yeah, she already kind of knew.
Yeah. It's not like she's turning the evidence into the police, even though I guess that happened by default at the end. I do end up relating to this pedophile on some degree. Not because he's a pedophile, but, well, he's a charismatic, smart guy. He's a smooth-talking man. He makes lots of money. He's a photographer. He has a nice car. He can get any woman he wants. It makes you wonder why. Why is he a pedophile?
Except for the girl that lives next door, apparently.
No, that's his neighbor.
One girl he's in love with, that he's this close to getting anyway. He's this close. If he'd just not been a pedophile, he would have had a very happy life.
Wait, no. You're thinking of, he had an ex-girlfriend, wasn't it?
Janelle,
yeah, that's
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought she was an ex-girlfriend.
She was this close to coming back to him, though, when they were
okay.
The woman was reading through the emails. Janelle's like, maybe I should go back out with him? Am I crazy for wanting to?
Yeah.
And that's why she came running when Haley called her.
Wasn't she also the first person he photographed? My brain. I'm sorry. Took pictures.
They were both the same age back then.
Yeah.
So
took pictures of.
It's wrong still, but it's right.
It was okay. He was the same age as her.
Yeah, well, around the same age. We don't really know everyone's exact age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be 16 and she could be 15. I don't know. But, you know, I have to remind myself that he's a pedophile when I watch this movie. Because just the things that this man goes through, the mental and physical agony, just makes me feel bad. Let me just say, I don't care who you are or what you've done. I'm gonna feel bad if you're getting your nuts chopped off anyway.
Yeah.
That was a drawn-out scene.
I still want to get why she's doing this. Taking the law into her own hands.
Oh,
Making them
want-
kill themselves.
do you want
She's very
the
much
Word of God
chaotic.
version, or just...
Good, I guess. Would be her D&D alignment.
What?
She reminds me of the Punisher. That's what I kept thinking in my head. She's like the Punisher. So, I like the Punisher, and I can read the Punisher, because the Punisher knows that what he's doing
is bad.
is messed up. He's aware. This girl, she takes way too much enjoyment out of this.
I think she's
And that's what
quite
makes her
aware,
crazy.
but here's the thing. She's quite aware of what she's doing.
Yeah, but she enjoys
uses,
it.
She uses the excuse that they're terrible people to enjoy it, basically.
Yeah. It's like,
So what? She
the
thinks
banter
she's
that she's
above.
having while just screwing with this guy's entire life is just...
Does she think she's above the law or something? What the hell's wrong with her? Stray, what
she
is
just
word? Stray, what
enjoys
is? You said you knew what the Word of God version. What is it?
Let me look this up on TV tropes, because I was being bored. One day. Hey, come on. We all go to TV tropes.
I try not to. It's like a black hole.
Yeah,
Oh.
it is.
Well, no, more like an event horizon, because I try to avoid that black hole.
She's basically a serial killer. She's just a serial killer, basically.
So she's a serial killer. So there is no real reason. She's a serial killer, and she's
a serial killer.
kills pedophiles.
In the vein of, like, Saul, you know?
Yeah.
You kill yourself, ultimately. It's not my fault. You chose to do whatever
Yeah,
you're
but
doing.
not in Saw, the guy's, at least his original plan was to have people
be reformed.
Perform themselves from going through these trials and psychological traumas and stuff like that. They're supposed to be escapable. They're supposed to be able to still get out.
Except once you get to later
you
Saw.
gotta cut your leg off.
Yeah,
to
but that's
do it,
because the
though.
later Saws were different. The later Saws were a different person that was doing it. And they didn't care about performing people. They just cared about killing these people.
Yeah.
Performing their own brand of justice, which is what this girl is doing.
Chick Flick Shuffle. We support Saul. The one thing I noticed was, like, before he was all tied up and they were about to ruin him, well, she was about to ruin him. It's like when they talk about Janelle and he gets all quiet and emotional, that kind of takes me out of the movies. Like, whenever in a movie someone talks about their first love, whether they like them or hate them, it's either, oh, she was a bitch, or they start almost whispering. It's like, hey, you see Rebecca last Tuesday?
The one that got away.
Rebecca?
Oh.
Topanga.
Did you see?
I think Topanga didn't get away.
It bugs me a little bit. Because in real life, no one does that.
As far as we
Even
know.
though I would like it if people did do that. Like if I turned to someone like Richard, and he turned to me like, what? I said, B. Arthur. And then he turned around, B. Arthur.
Not LaDasha.
LaDasha. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to me. So the movie comes on. I'm trying to remember the order in which she proceeds to screw this guy up.
He unties himself. She stun guns and castration scenes.
What does she keep spraying into his mouth?
I don't know. Like at first, I don't know. I think later she actually did switch to bleach, but I don't know at first. She drugs him with drugs that she got from her dad. I'm using quotations on dad.
Quote unquote dad.
We don't know. 'Cause
a
there's
medical
lot of
facility that she got somehow
Yes.
to
She might-
stun him.
She might have just broken out of a medical facility herself.
And then she proceeds to search through all of his things.
Yes, and then
Which, here's the thing with that. And it makes me feel good because, my room is a mess. She's gonna be there for a couple of days trying to look through my things. His house is so clean.
Well, he lives by
He
himself.
own nothing but pictures of little girls.
He also picks up little girls. Once the little girls see that room being that messy, might be a problem.
Yeah, they might not like it.
So he keeps
maybe.
it clean.
And at first he's like, it's my job. I'm not a pedophile. I just take pictures of little girls for a living. But, that doesn't satisfy her because she knows the truth because she killed his sidekick.
Yes. Or supposed sidekick. You don't know which.
You don't know which one's the villain and which one's the sidekick.
Yes.
Because they both blamed each other.
Yep.
Yep. And again, this guy, the way he acts, he does seem like a typical nice guy if he wasn't a pedophile.
Yes, and we really don't see those pedophile traits in him is the other thing.
And that's one of the things the movie is trying to get across is that, you got this guy, he's charismatic, he's smart, he's nice, he seems to have his life together, and then he has this dark, terrible secret, and he's into all this horrible stuff. And then, this is what real pedophiles are like. And that's kind of his role to play. I have to say, though, he had his game pretty tight.
Yes.
I'm not complimenting him on his game, but, his safe hidden in the rocks and deleting everything off his hard drive. I mean, if she wasn't like a Deus Ex Machina, real pro,
or she just got to the other guy first. Maybe the other guy wasn't that great at hiding.
If she didn't already know that he was guilty, she
Or
probably would
maybe
have left
guilty.
there without ever knowing.
Maybe guilty is the thing.
This is completely out of nowhere, but remember that story he was talking about when she was going to castrate him about how it's like was she his cousin or something? That little girl was his cousin who was in love with him and then hugged him after she jumped out of the bathroom naked, and then his aunt went in there and then held his dick over a stove.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, woman, what the...
Alright, his aunt was black.
She's a crazy white woman. God. I don't think that's real, but still.
Yeah, it's like that woman from Wife Swap. You know the one because it's the only one anyone ever talks about.
I didn't watch Wife Swap. I don't know what you're talking about. But all I can say is I hate to see what that woman was like if that girl was older. When they were older. She tried to bring a boyfriend home. She would probably have shanked him.
I was going to talk about that scene because that scene is pretty important. Some of this does have some regards in nature versus nurture. And it just seems odd to me because this girl doesn't believe in either of them in this case. She doesn't believe that this man is a pedophile because he just has natural biological origins from his given to be a pedophile. But she doesn't believe that the pruning led him to be a pedophile either. So I'm like, what does she think this guy is then? If it wasn't either one of them, he just decided to wake up and be a pedophile?
She just wants an excuse to
that
kill him.
happens that way.
She just needs an excuse to kill. That's all it is. Stray says she's a serial killer, remember? That's all.
She's a fledgling serial killer.
So all she needs is an excuse to kill. And that's what it is.
But
she doesn't care if it was nature or nurture. She just wants an excuse. Oh, I can kill you because I have a reason to. And that's it.
Well, you say that, but there's also the fact that he didn't have to die.
Yeah, he didn't have to.
He could have just suffered it all and then decided to, okay, I'm a pedophile, my life is ruined, maybe I can rebuild it. Like she said, that one director guy, I forget his name, won an Oscar after his life fell down the drain for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
But he was a little too weak for all that, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably what they were trying to show, because she probably would have killed him anyway. Probably another thing, too.
Maybe,
She's
maybe
just-
he would have.
She puts them in a psychological situation, so where it looks like that they have to kill themselves. That's what happens. If they don't, she probably ends up killing them anyway.
Here's one thing about the movie, because he does get his balls cut off, but it's very procedural.
Wait, do that? Does he? I thought it was
it was a fake out.
Yeah, it was a fake out.
Oh.
She doesn't know how to do that.
I didn't know that. Wait, where did all the blood come from?
She prepared it?
Yeah, it's probably from the other guy. Or another pedophile she killed.
Yeah. She probably
I
had
didn't
it
notice
prepared.
it said, like, they're all there or something, but I didn't really know because the
She was
ball cutting
psychological.
scene was very convincing.
Yeah. Basically, it was using his own mind against him.
This is what she's been doing the whole time a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, she put them in a situation where it seems like they have no other choice but to kill themselves.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. The thing about this movie is, like, it's real. Like, despite the nature of what's going on, these mind games between a pedophile and a serial killer, and like how they're facing each other and how they're trying to like sweet talk each other into certain situations. Despite all of that, and like the nature of the movie and how dark it is, it's actually really very tame. You don't see a lot of gore. There's not a lot of cussing either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sprinkled in there.
Which is weird for a Sundance film.
Oh yeah, it's weird for an independent film, especially if there's no nudity or rape.
Oh, they had someone that was supposed to be playing a little kid, so
That's also very true.
you can't have that in America.
Well, you can have an 18-year-old pretending to be a 10-year-old.
Yeah, but same. Her character is still supposed to be young, so they can't do that.
Honey Boo Boo. Not that I'm saying I want to see Honey Boo Boo rape.
Oh my god, I don't think you'd even want to see her naked.
God.
I'm saying children's child pageants are messed up, is what I'm saying.
But they gave her a show is also messed up.
Yeah. I like the epic chair kick to the face they did. I just hate that this movie is making me root for this pedophile, but this girl is just so intimidating.
Yeah, because she's doing most of the stuff.
Yeah.
From everything we know, it's just her saying what he did.
Yes, but he also kind of admits...
At least until she finds the picture.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm wondering, is it worth it?
to torture him this far.
As far as, until we know that he was involved with killing. Like, is all this really, like, does he really deserve all this?
I want to know why.
Especially at the point
I want to know.
where he's promising to turn himself in. Like, that should be enough. I think the cops could take it from there.
I want to know why he kept the evidence.
Well, he had a thing about keeping stuff. Like, all of Janelle's information and letters and stuff from way back when. That was pretty much his undoing.
Yeah, if he didn't do that, she would have found no evidence, and in the end, she would have just been a killer. She would have probably just killed him, so he wouldn't rat her out to the cops.
I just want to say, while we're still on the topic of the castration scene, again, quotations, when they knock him out, and this is after she uses the latex over his face, after the daring chair kick, and you see him, and he's tied up, and they're slowly going down, and I just know in my mind, I called it, I absolutely called it. I said, he's not wearing any pants right now, is he? And then they zoom down and like, nope, no pants. And let me say, again, but, cause it is like the pivotal scene in this movie, that guy turned into a baby. Like, he literally turned into a baby crying on that table when he thought he was getting his nuts chopped off.
Any guy would become that, though.
Yeah, I'm like, I would do that, but man, I do wish I had more dignity than that.
Well, you're getting your balls chopped off.
Yeah. She was very nice about it. She numbed it, you know. She was gonna cut it open and just take him out individually instead of just chopping off the whole stack.
Because she didn't want him to die of blood loss.
Huh?
She didn't want him to die of blood loss. But then
No,
again,
she didn't want him to die of
but then
blood
again,
loss.
she didn't do
want him to die of dehydration. I mean, someone's going to cut off your nuts. It's a very nice way for them to do it.
Yeah, when
I've read a lot of stories about angry black chicks and the way they like to cut off people's nuts.
That's because they're angry black
off?
chicks who. That's because they're angry black chicks and not thinking about it. They just want to go ahead and get it done with. They are crazy killers.
There's other parts in this movie, and this movie isn't really predictable. And you know what you're getting into when you're going for it, but it's really kind of a psychological thriller. So the meat of it is what they say to each other and how they interact with each other, and that's not something you can really spoil. Something I did find predictable is like when he escaped for the first time. First time he escaped, he picks up a knife. Why didn't he go back and try to find a gun? I don't know.
Did he have a gun is the question.
Because he had a gun. She pulled out a gun from under his bed, I think.
Because that was the gun she was using this whole time. And she didn't even take the bullets out. If what she said on the rooftops is correct, and she's using that gun to threaten him, to shoot him, she didn't even take the bullets out. So if he had found the gun, he could have used it.
Was she wearing gloves when she held the gun?
I don't know. I know she was wearing gloves when she was typing.
Because I'm pretty sure she was smart enough to remove her fingerprints from the gun.
Yeah. Maybe she just took the gun with her, and she wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that too. Probably remove any evidence of her ever being there.
Oh, I guess I'm just going through a list of this guy's mistakes. So the first thing he's thinking about doing is calling 911. He could have ended it all right there. And she tells him this later. You could have called 911. The police would have been here. Could have stopped all this. Would have turned yourself in, but it would have gotten me, and you wouldn't have to kill yourself, etc., etc. He didn't do that. Okay. He decided, this bitch cut off my testicles, even though they're still there. I gotta protect the boys. I'm gonna get this knife, and I'm gonna kill her. And, I knew she wasn't in that shower.
If she probably did cut off his testicles, he probably would have actually called 911. But since he found out that she didn't, he was too mad at thinking, I still have a chance of having kids and fixing this with the girl, with whatever his girlfriend, whatever her name was.
That's a good point. He messes up by turning on the television for some reason. It's just on extra loud. What would the first thing you do?
Why would you turn on the television in the
Exactly. Why? But then she wasn't even in the shower to begin with because, you could tell by the way she was still clothed. She wasn't wet or anything. But still, I knew she wasn't in the shower. I didn't see that taser coming, though. Yeah. Tase him in his butthole over and over. And, yeah. Again, that whole scene was a little predictable. Then it gets to a point... Huh?
At this point, it was an actual horror movie rather than
I wouldn't say a horror movie. Nothing scary about it.
Well, it's not scary, but it's very atmospheric and a little disturbing. And then, at this point, it's so much has happened to this guy. All the things, all the mental stress and anxiety and all the... You could just see him chipping away over time, which makes to a very convincing end. You can see him, killing himself like that.
Yeah, like I said, she leaves them so they have no other choice but to kill themselves.
Yep.
So, all this stuff, so much stuff has happened to this guy, that there came to a point in the movie where more stuff would happen to him, I would start laughing. Because now he's suffering to the point of ridiculousness. After she electrocutes him, and he's crawling on the floor with the scalpel in slow motion while she's cleaning the house, I was just laughing my ass off. And then she just walks over to him and tasers him again for fun. And then the other scene is after that, when he wakes up and he's in her ultimate trap before she has to do a makeshift second one. And his neighbor comes by because she was going to give him her daughter was going to give him some Girl Scout cookies. He normally pays for Girl Scout cookies. This movie has a thing about Girl Scouts for some reason. I really don't know. That's the one thing I couldn't figure out. Why does this director hate Girl Scouts? But anyway, Girl Scouts should learn how to cut testicles instead of sell cookies.
I like the cookies.
They are delicious cookies if they stop changing the names all the time. When she steals the man's money to pay for the cookies, I start laughing. But, yeah, you've got this man, you've tied him up, you've sprayed him with bleach, you've threatened to cut off his testicles, you've played all these mental mind games with him, you've threatened his relationships, his business, his family, his job, you've threatened to turn him into the police, you've threatened to kill him, and now, after all this, after you put him in a trap where he can just hang him, you are going to steal his money to pay for Girl Scout cookies. Again, it just piles up on top of itself and becomes humorous to me.
Yes.
You know, hold on. Didn't earlier on she was walking around on the roof, right? Like early in the movie?
The woman mentioned that, and I didn't see that scene. I don't remember that scene in the movie.
I remember seeing that scene, but I can't remember, like, when exactly. I think it was, like, after the first time she knocked him out. Maybe. I think she was setting this whole thing up from the very beginning.
She probably did.
Every time she knocked him out was going to lead up to that.
How long?
Like, she was telling a lot, like, this took a lot of prep time.
Yeah, I know.
But when she put the news, like, on the rooftops, I don't think that was planned. Considering
I think
easily done it.
No, I think that was planned. Because she was walking around on the new rooftop earlier.
But she was walking around on the rooftops later.
Batman.
She could have done it then.
So we're saying she's the Batman of serial killers?
No.
Like I said, Punisher is a more accurate description.
Yeah, true. But...
So, yeah, he gets free again, which is the second time. It's the second time he could have just ended all of this.
Wait.
He could have called the police and left or did something. He didn't have to stay.
Wait,
he just had to grab that knife and go off serial killer.
After the second time, she started actually eliminating evidence, didn't she? Because I remember a scene where
she cleaned up after herself, yeah. So but he still could have turned himself in, and that would have made him safe from her.
Which,
like I said,
I'm pretty sure being Bubba's bitch would be a lot better than dealing with her.
Yeah.
You know what? When he did that thing, when he swung over there to her and put his thighs across her neck, I thought he was gonna break it. I thought it was gonna be fatality. But he didn't do that, so whatever.
He just likes having his junk in front of girls' faces. Little girl chases.
Even if he didn't call the police on himself, I'm thinking he could have left. He could have, like, taken the photos and left.
And, yeah.
He didn't have to chase her. Like, at the moment as he decided that he had to continue this vengeance of his, that's when he was done.
Yep.
Because she was better prepared than he was.
And she had a gun.
I kind of,
And then he fell for the oldest hide and seek trick in the book.
You
hide where you begin.
Oh.
Like, really? You just gotta, you know she's doing this. You have no childhood, and that's why you're a pedophile. Just like Michael Jackson. So, they're on the rooftops, and I'm surprised the Asian woman doesn't see this, considering how much she saw the first time around, but okay. I'll give her that. Like, the Asian woman's not going to say that there was a little niece there, and no one's going to try to check that out, but...
No, the little Asian woman. Oh, it's the niece. I can go out and do my groceries now. That's probably what happened.
Basically says, alright, the woman of your dreams is going to come over here. She's going to find all the evidence of your pedophilia. It's going to ruin your life. And I'm going to, like, take my clothes off and run into her arms all distressed. And she's going to think the horrible things of you, and you're going to go to jail, and it's just blah, blah, blah. Or you can kill yourself. And I'm going to clean up all the evidence. And you're going to get off scot-free, and she'll never know. And he does the latter.
And she doesn't. And she lays nothing to get rid of the evidence.
Yup. Nope. She's already gotten rid of her evidence.
I don't know why he would believe her on that to begin with, considering that just beforehand she just revealed that there's a large possibility that everything she told him about her was a lie.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would have preferred if she had killed him. Like, if I was in his position, I would have preferred if she killed me than if I killed myself. Because at least she gets to look like, a criminal as well.
Yeah,
and I'm not
but
the one.
She can get away with it by saying, if she ever gets caught, she can say, well, I didn't actually do anything to them. They did it themselves.
But
Yeah.
in the situation N's talking about,
I'm talking about I would have let her shoot me with that gun and, like, at least try to stab her. Maybe she would have gotten off on self-defense, but at least her hands wouldn't be so clean.
Well, she had to get those testicles from somewhere.
So, he kills himself, and the movie ends. The guy obviously represents, like, pedophiles and what they are really like and the things that they use. Like, the thinking process, like, the tricks of the trade, I guess, for pedophiles. And the woman obviously represents, as they not revealed at the end, but so blatantly said, I am every little girl that you looked at, that you've touched, that you've hurt, that you've had sex with, coming to, like, get my revenge. To me, and this is probably my major gripe of the movie. It's the only thing that's really holding me back. It's a little preachy, I find it. And the whole thing. Like, it kind of talks down to the audience, like, they don't already know, they can't what the deal with pedophiles are. Or, like, they don't already know to be, like, disgusted with pedophiles. Or they don't already know what's happening. Like, it explains what everything symbolizes in the movie. I'm like, look, guys, there's a dumbass in the audience. Just let them be a dumbass. You don't have to explain every little thing. You don't have to preach every little thing. Like, and you could have done it maybe with a little more subtlety. It just... And,
there was already a lot of open to interpretation things in this, though.
What was that?
There's a lot of interpretation that you have to
leave
do.
a lot to ambiguity, and do like that. But, like, normally I'm not one to criticize preachiness, which is the only reason I'm bringing it up here. Because for the first time, probably ever, it's just something that took me out of the movie for a little while, because most of it happens at the beginning and then a little bit at the end. So, actually, I guess we'd start with Stray, since this is his favoriteest movie ever. What are your final opinions?
Even more than Bridget Jones?
No.
Well,
this is my favorite.
So not count yet.
Favorite horror movie. Well, psychological thriller,
this
but...
is not a horror movie.
But, yeah, I'm a fan of psychological thrillers, and I actually do like this movie, so 4 out of 5 from me. I'm not going to give it 5 out of 5. I know it ain't perfect.
How about you, Gio?
The movie, it really just bored me. I don't like this kind of movie at all. I give it a 2.5.
You're like, man, I wish we saw Ginger Snaps trilogy.
that probably would have been more exciting.
But it becomes more of an action movie is the thing about Ginger
Exactly,
Snaps.
which is probably why I would have liked it. It premiered at Sundance. God. It premiered at Sundance and the Dolby Digital sound system went down.
Well, I don't have any problem with... Well, I do like slow... I do have a problem with stuff that's too slow. But, well, I guess what saves it, probably... The writing is really good, I think. Like, what the characters have to say, how they try to, outmaneuver each other. The acting was really good. It was like, you have basically 2 characters in this movie. So if neither one of the actors could carry this movie, you would have a very big problem. So, and they both do a very good job carrying the movie.
And portraying
like,
what they do.
I forgot her name, but the girl that plays Haley, you know, and did she play Juno?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Juno.
she's Juno, and she's also in Inception, apparently.
She's also Kitty Pryde from X-Men: The Last Stand.
You mean the
I don't
X-Men
remember
movie
Last
that does
Stand,
not
but
exist?
Yeah.
What X-Men 3?
Yeah.
It ended at United, and then they made First Class, right? Basically.
But, yeah, she got a lot of props for this movie. And then the guy, like, I'm not sure if I've ever seen him before.
Yeah. I liked his
Patrick
movie roles, and
He does a very good job, too. Like, you can see the frustration on his face. Like, his face turns so red.
He was... Oh, he was Night Owl.
Oh, snap.
I knew he did one of the roles
Huh.
in...
This movie is why Night Owl couldn't get it up. Performance is great. The writing, I have less qualms with it than
Geo.
I might even say. I don't think Gio had a problem with the writing per se, just maybe the general concept. It's like a bottle episode.
Yeah, it's very boring. Like that episode of Family Guy where Brian and Stewie were stuck in that bank vault.
I never saw that
Yeah,
episode.
because
I heard a lot of people complaining.
It's really boring.
Like I said before, I like the ambiguity in the movie. I like that it is a lot to be, conversed, to be interpreted. You know, everyone's going to have maybe not so different opinions because, like I said, they do preach a lot about what certain things mean, at least symbolically, and how we're supposed to feel about certain issues. I think the interaction was pretty compelling, pretty interesting, entertaining. I think the actions that happened later on made the guy out to be, kind of an idiot. But then after all the anxiety that he's going through, who can think straight? I probably wouldn't. But then I'm black, so I probably would have run away the first chance I got. Because that's what we do. Well, then again, black people don't rape children anyway. I'm going to keep on believing that, so no one post anything regarding,
Michael Jackson.
hey, here's evidence of a black guy raping a small child.
Michael Jackson.
No, not in my world.
Michael Jackson.
I thought Michael Jackson was clear.
white.
No.
I thought he was clear.
We traded him in the racial draft.
He's an alien.
This is a movie I would suggest watching once. If you don't mind movies like this, if you like GL, and movies where people talk a lot like this, or like The King's Speech. I know Stray loves.
I actually kind of like that, I'll admit.
This would be the type of movie I would only watch if I was still in high school, and that's what the teacher brought for us to watch.
That's how I watched it.
Either learn or watch this movie. Well, time to go to sleep.
That's one of the things that I wanted to say. Because it is preachy in certain parts, it's more of a really, really good PSA movie than it is a great movie. I have no problem showing this in classrooms. Because like I said, it's pretty tame, there's not a lot of cussing. We saw worse stuff in our psychology class. So, if you see it at school, or if Ziggy, if you're listening, and you want to teach your kids about pedophiles and how disturbing they are.
The kids in the classroom that he's teaching.
You want to teach those fifth graders.
But he's teaching. He's going so he can. He's not going to. He's going to be teaching college students. He's going to be teaching college students.
You want to teach those college students not to mess with little girls. You want to try this movie.
Oh yeah, she was talking about how she went to her dad's medical classes or something. He's like, oh, they must all be hitting on you. I'm like, oh, what?
If you like Stray or I, and you can deal with movies that are more verbally based, then you should probably watch it once. Because after you watch it once, I really think that's enough. It's not all that surprising or anything. There's no reason to watch it twice. I just don't see why you would watch it twice unless you're reviewing it like Stray. I give it a 4 out of 5, like Stray. Watch it once. Probably if you want to watch it again, but I don't see what more you can get out of it.
can watch it again to try picking up other things and try interpreting it, but seriously, yeah, watch it once. That's enough.
Like, if you feel like watching it again, you can probably just, like, watch, like, the comments on the director stuff on the, like, DVD.
Here's
Another
thing
this has nothing to do with this movie, but I'm going to throw this out here. You know, if you guys, and I'm not talking about you guys, but our listeners haven't seen Otis, this movie reminds me a lot of Otis. Otis is a movie where this deranged guy kidnaps women for, like, a fake prom date before, like, trying to kill and rape them. And it's actually, it's a horror comedy. Because the girl that he's trying to kill and rape, she actually escapes. And then her parents try to take revenge. And puts Otis in a situation a lot like, the pedophile in this movie. And it just makes me think of Otis because, like, I could root for the parents in Otis. It's a lot more relatable. They aren't really taking any pleasantries in it, even though it's kind of played for laughs. And, you know, this girl is just, she's like the Spider-Man of serial killers. She just really banter all day long. Like, yeah. Yeah, we're comparing her to every superhero ever. Next, she's gonna be the Monarch.
I don't think that counts as a super or a hero.
Or a killer.
He's part of a supervillain league. I mean,
but what's his power?
He faced Brock Sansom and lived. That's his power.
If you like this movie, or if you go see this movie and you like it, yeah, I definitely suggest you check out Otis. Or if you like the concept of this movie, or you think it's too slow, then, you know, Otis is a lot faster. And again, it's a horror comedy, so it's a different light. There is more gore in that, though, so. And, happy Halloween, because I don't believe you're doing another podcast this month.
Yeah.
No. Next month.
So I hope you enjoyed your candy. Ha ha. See what I did there?
Yes.
You see it?
And I won't be back before the next show, actually. Now that
he will be in the mystical land of Hong Kong.
You know, this happened once before. He was supposed to go to Hong Kong, and then he just showed up anyway. Like, weren't you supposed to be in Hong Kong?
This time, he's going for the Gundam fight finale.
No. I'm going for actual business. I was going to go for just hanging out with family. This time I've got to do some stuff in Hong Kong.
We hope you enjoyed this review. Join us next time where we review. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at that schedule for a while now. I think we're reviewing Little Women.
Can I just look it up on our Facebook page that... No.
But before we leave, let's all pretend to be McFisticuffs one more time and just say titties into the microphone for like 20 minutes.
No.
Oh, yeah,
Titties.
What we're supposed to yell is, I would smash that.
Booty?
Oh, yeah. I would smash that.
Alcohol. Smash. Let me smack it, girl. Smash it and bang
Spank it with a 10-foot
How you like your eggs fried or fertilized?
Spank it with a 10-foot iron pole because I am not getting near that psycho bitch.
Oh, God.
Wait. What was the one from Alice in Wonderland?
Jabberwocky.
Yeah.
Jabberwocky.
The Jabberwocky.
I would put my portable blade in that Jabberwocky.
Portable blade in that Jabberwocky.